Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm AP. I'm the host of the ENVZN Greater podcast. It's a place for those who want to shape the world and experiment the world that governs us to come together to share their ideas that is going to shake society, make it a better place, and to change, to make change positively. This is the first episode, and I really wanted to spend some time and let y'all know what this is about, and hopefully that y'all tap in. And I know that y'all tap in and learn something at the end of the day, because learning is fundamental to change and inspiration. Whether it's you want to be an artist, whether you want to do music, or whether you just love to see and witness people do these things. That's what the show is for, right? And as a black man, it's really important for me, because at the end of the day, we don't always get the opportunity or the platform to share those things. And with the advancement of social media, we do see that, right? We are seeing people who are changing games a little more frequently, but I do want to give them another platform, right? To give them a chance to hear their stories or share their stories, give them a chance to share their stories. Give them a chance to tell you about themselves, tell you about why they create and what they're creating, and why it can help or change the world, or even how they get into it, or just why they love it, because it doesn't always have to be changing. Sometimes it's because you love it. And I think that's what's really powerful about art, creation, business, innovation, and science. And it's just, sometimes it's because you want to change things, sometimes it's because you love it. And like I said, I'm an artist myself. I'm a photographer by trade. I also design and I write. I've written for a couple of newspapers in Philadelphia. I'm going to show you some of my photos. I collab. I do a lot of event photography. I do a lot of music. Artist photography. I also do some of my own creative direction and things like that. And I just fell into it. I fell into photography because my mom's a photographer. She used to shoot a lot of my track meets. And sometimes she'll hand me the camera and like, hey, go create. And I just fell into it. And I love capturing people. I love capturing things. I love just showing the world around me. And sometimes even taking a step further and playing with it, playing with colors, and playing with the way things look and organize or composition. As a creator myself, I see other creators who are excellent, who are making these amazing things, but don't always, are maybe a little too shy, or don't have the network to share, right, or talk about. And that's the reason I created my business, Visionary Media, in itself, and created this show, is to, when I'm talking to people, and I want to give them a space to where I can really talk and have that conversation with them, and then put it on camera, because at the end of the day, camera is my bread and butter, and I know how to work it, I know how to direct. So I also, click on the link below, I want to have a playlist, a music playlist of like what I just listened to during the week. It's the songs I'm finding popular. And you can tap in, hopefully Apple Music, you see this Apple Music, you should give me a curator's badge, and make my playlist a curated playlist that showcase, because I like a lot of music. But so tap in. I hope you enjoy what I have for you today. I'm sitting down with Seneca Hart, the founder of G.R.O.W Lifestyle, and Yada Kids. He's an amazing man. He's trying to shape society. You're going to hear from him shortly. So let's get to it. This episode of ENVZN Greater is sponsored by Yada Kids and G.R.O.W Lifestyle. Check out their websites in the description below. I'm sitting down with Seneca Hart. We were just talking, we chatted, and he's a visionary and innovator in the city of Newark. So we're talking. So how you doing today?
I'm amazing, man. I appreciate you bringing me on the platform, and it's all about growth. That's what it's all about for me, is developing and growing, and giving the information to the black community. That's what this does.
So, for you, does G.R.O.W stand for anything?
Yeah, it stands for Green Relationships Outside Your World, and also green, real, organic wealth. That's what it's all about. It always starts with the seed, and that's what it's about for me.
And it's funny that you say that, because we've been talking a lot about just like growing in the city, and then thinking about it. What made you come to Newark? What made you come to Newark with this idea of G.R.O.W?
So I moved, when I ended up coming to Newark, I was traveling back and forth in the city for work, you know. And as I ended up, I was in a relationship, I stayed here, and I started noticing there's so much room for growth. And it's like, I could go back to LA, I've been in LA for a lot of years, I do a program out there, I could go back to the city and do the thing. But they have a lot of that stuff. And what I noticed is, I didn't see a lot of that here. I'm trying to find programs to be a part of, trying to find things for my daughter or my kid, and I don't really see a lot of quality programs or any programs. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay here, take my time, develop some relationships, and grow here.
I thought we got reminded, we gotta get to know you a little more, right?
Of course.
So where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Virginia, a little small, tiny town outside of Charlottesville, Virginia, called Stanton, Virginia. And a lot of these things that we're talking about right now, I didn't have. All I had was sports. That's what kind of got me into a lot of the other things that I'm talking about right now, the music, business, because you would never see any black businesses. You would never see any musicians. You would only see athletes. You didn't have access to learn how to do those things, you know. But I knew it was more, and that's why as soon as as I was old enough to leave, I left, you know.
It's just so interesting because I feel like a lot of times well, when I say we, I mean like black people, African Americans, whatever you attach to, often always see sports as like that access or like to connect to something else, but it seemed like you wanted to connect to something more than that. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really hit me when I was teaching in Red Hook Projects in the PS 127 in New York. In Brooklyn, and I noticed a lot of schools just didn't have enrichment programs. You know, they had no physical education. If they did, it was limited. They had no music programs at all. And I was just like, bro, it's got to be more to it than this. This makes no sense.
I feel like that's like part of like what makes you think outside the box. You connect to art. You connect to You connect to something in a way to express yourself that's like positive, right?
Exactly.
And that it's innovative. Like that's the reason we sit here, because we want to be innovators. And I swear you can be innovative too. But like how many thousands, hundreds of thousands of people connect themselves to sports as a way to innovate or change their lives. And then you get stuck in the past, and sometimes I see a lot. You get stuck in the past, like oh, remember I was that great high school, I used to come down court, or I used to run that. And then it's like you can't move on.
Right. It's like postpartum sports.
Yeah.
And I feel like I had that. That's funny you bring that up. But I always tell people, how can you grow if you don't know? If you don't know and you're not knowledgeable, or you haven't given the information in regards to how to grow outside of sports, then you think all it is I go to sports, I do sports in high school, I'm good there, I didn't make it, I go into working, I go into business, I go work for somebody else, because that's all you know.
Yeah.
So if you don't know any other routes and you haven't been educated in any other fields, then how can you actually grow? For me, it's funny you say that, because if I wouldn't have had the intuition and drive to want to learn more, or want to do more, because I knew there was more to it than that, I could have got stuck in that loop. When I first started coaching high school football in Virginia, out of college, outside of the game, I couldn't even go watch games. I started crying. I was so deeply invested, because I did that for every year from 7 years old to 23 years old. I never missed a season, and I'm trying to make it NFL. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't make the NFL, had other routes, I didn't want to do it, but I couldn't function. I couldn't watch a game. I would start crying, and I'd have to leave.
Honestly, I feel that too, because I was an athlete at one point in time, so I kind of connected that experience with you. Like going to college football games, you watch on the sideline, like, I want to be out there. You want to be out there. You want to run. It's not even intention all the time. You just want that feeling and that adrenaline. It's like,
exactly. And I think for me, if you play on a high level and you're still athletically inclined, I literally still could do it. Like I was a scout quarterback for my high school team. I would play quarterback, because I said, if you could stop me, you definitely can stop anybody else in these high schools. There's nobody's gonna be as athletic as I am.
Yeah.
Not literally.
Man,
so I tore my meniscus as a coach.
Yo.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, but I running a 4.49. and 250, 230. Like, so point is, 235 run 449. That's so as a coach. So because I did the quarterback because I was gifted. I played baseball as well. My point was is if you could stop me, and I know these guys would be nothing, but I was still able to. So that kind of helped me mentally because I'm still moving around, doing something involved. So I was more that involved, hands-on coach.
That's how you connect.
Exactly. And
the pivot a little bit. Do you take that same mindset to like grow and like how you apply yourselves and well, you haven't really talked about grow a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% take that approach. Fitness, fashion, food, finance, and fun. That's what the business is focused on. That's what the establishment is focused on. And in order to develop a lifestyle, you have to have all those parts. The fitness, wellness, fashion. We like to dress. We like to look good. We don't just work out just to work out. We work out to look good. Finance. We got to be established mentally, physically, and financially in order to actually focus on any of those things. Food, of course, is the seed that we grow within. The body has had, and then fun. We all want to have fun. So my thing is developing an organization around fitness, wellness, and developing it as a lifestyle. So that's why I call it fitness, wellness, lifestyle. I think as a community, if we build a community around that and we're working with each other, for each other, that's how we'll grow, And so now I might be a person that is great in finance, and you might be a person that's great in fitness. By me involving you and helping you with the fitness and you helping me with the finance, now we're growing together. So you might not go to the gym that often on your own, but because we work together in those two entities.
You and me, I'm going to the gym, I'll tell you along.
Exactly. Because one, you don't want to get left behind. You start thinking, what it is we all are most of us, 90% of us are going to be, we don't want to let nobody be better than us. You know what I'm saying? So when you're saying you're the best at finance, right, and you think I'm one of the best in fitness, or you just I'm good at what I learned, you don't want to get left behind. So you teaching me everything you know, and I'm teaching you everything I know. Why would you want to get left behind, but I can go better in finances? So if I go on a trip, I want to go on a trip and have other people be able to go on a trip with me. I don't want to go on a trip and I only got to go by myself because they're not making the money. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. If I get better in health and wellness, I want to be healthy and grow and look good, and I want you to be the same way. So I developed that system around that. And I think socially, with a lot of social clubs that are out there, I kept saying I want to have a black country club. I want to have a black country club, but most country clubs are focused on golf, they're focused on tennis. But my thing is, why don't I just focus around fitness and wellness in general? So this is my black country club. This is for our community, for the community of Newark and for New Jersey. I'm focusing here. It is something I want to develop multiple locations. I'm developing something called pods. So right now we're focused on a fitness pod. That gives opportunity for business owners that might not have the space, might not have the systems, might not have the business etiquette to run their own thing. But if it's set up for you and you can follow a syllabus, just like in college, if you go to college, if they say pick what you want to do, I want to be a doctor. Okay, you pick your own classes. You might be all over the place. There's a prerequisite for each class. They put it in the syllabus so that you take the right classes as you go along to your senior year.
But it's not that for life. So what you help people like
stay basically on a syllabus. You know what I'm saying? It's a syllabus for life around fitness, wellness, and lifestyle.
That's what you need to, and I think that's amazing.
That's what you need to what? You about to say? To grow.
Yeah, to grow. Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
What you need. What you need to grow. I think, listening here, I'm like, that's amazing because one is community aspect. Everyone is a positive community too. It's not a community that's like, we're gonna waste time. We're not, we're gonna play. You're gonna have fun.
Right.
But at the same time, you're gonna have all the elements in life so that you can have fun and not feel like that pressure. That especially nowadays, I'm 26 years old, so I look around and you see on social media people talk about, I can feel the pressure every time I go out and have fun. I'm thinking about what didn't I do?
Exactly.
But then you're chilling with the best. It's like,
Right.
Like, I don't have to worry because I know that's what I do. That's what I think about.
Exactly.
That's what I think about. But I'm chilling with you, and that's what you think about. You think about something else, and like we're together. So,
And you said the key with that, and I'm glad you brought that up because your network is your net worth. So if you're with other people that are the best at what they do, you will create more clientele for your business. You will create, other ways to bring in financial, you say, we'll bring in, you'll bring in, you know what I'm saying? You will bring that. So now you're not stressing. I just went out and I spent this and this. Damn, if you have that community that services each other, then you don't have to worry about that because you always got another person. And that's what this is all about more than anything, because it's about business owners and people that are wanting to be that. And we're helping to develop that. So we got grow seniors, grow professionals, and grow kids. So now kids will become what? Professionals. Professionals will become what? Seniors. So you're growing. We're starting with the professional right now. About this time next year, my goal is to have the kids line in. We talk about track program, basketball, volleyball, grow athletes, and then they have grow seniors. Because our seniors, which are the biggest thing out here right now, a lot of them don't have nowhere to go. They don't have if the family aren't coming around, they just basically have no life. They just get up, go to sleep, eat, go to sleep, get up, go. Like, you gotta have more than that, you know what I'm saying?
It's like Squidward. We got
Exactly.
on that one episode, he dancing, bicycle, and then he's doing the same thing over
and over.
And you're bored.
And then you start valuing life less. It's not the same because you feel like you don't have one. I tell people you gotta live life. You can't just be alive, and that's a big piece for me with Grow. I want to help you live life. Living life is doing things you want to do and feeling good about it, and not have to think about every move you make. You know what I'm saying? And that's the big piece for me. But that's the reason why we're here, and I wanna grow.
Hearing it, I know there's people out there who definitely want to go with you, who are looking for that type of community. I'm not sure we tapped into like social media, but for a long time it's been like this conversation about a third space, and it seems like that's what you're creating in a sense. That's what you're bringing to the world. I think he said not me.
I appreciate it, and it is exclusive. It's not for everybody. We have something for everybody, but it's not for everybody. Because so it's you put your application in. Why do you want to grow? It's simple. You put we feel like, and this is for my community. It's not just you put that in and I say, oh yeah, I want it, I don't want it. No, my community, the people that are with me, we make a decision. Like, we want them in the community. We feel like they bring this to help us grow. And we talked about giving a plan to each person that comes in. We give you a plan. We're gonna have a community garden. And we need you to grow. We need you to play your role. We need you to grow your seed in order for us to grow. So this time next year, when we have Thanksgiving, we're eating our own foods. We're eating our own vegetables. We're eating our own fruits that we grew and we nourished. You know what I'm saying? So that's a piece that and we'll highlight them. We'll have you take pictures. We'll have you take videos from where it started to where it's at. And that's a big piece because although you might not hit every single physical or financial whatever growth, you're able to do what? You're able to grow that. So you are doing something that's positive. You're growing. And everybody's going to be on different pages, but that plant can continue to grow.
That's really cool, actually. That's dope, man. And hearing that's like, it's like you can also track like your time, like that you've been a part of Grow, and you can see like it's not like you don't lose time to be like literally seeing the thing grow with you, and you kind of reflect like, oh, man, look back at yourself. You see that you planted. You like, man, look back at myself again. How much I changed.
And what's funny is how many black farmers we're in food deserts. We don't have much grocery stores. We don't have a lot of locations that have positive foods or juices, and we have juices with this actually as well. So if we're making and developing the fruits and vegetables that we actually use to make our juices within the community, and we have our own community garden that we grow and build ourselves, it don't get too much better than
you don't need to tap in anywhere.
We have it in the community. So you don't have to say, I don't know where to go get this. I don't know what. It's in your own community. You have it.
That makes me think, I kind of want to bring it out. So seeing like where we are right now, we're in Newark, and seeing how people move. How do you think G.R.O.W can really fit into this type of community or create it?
Well, I think what it's going to come down to is, that's why I say a lot of business owners, try to tap into the black business owners first, because you're going to have the foundation. You got to have people that have already done, because most people want to look up to something. If you're not doing it, they don't believe in you, unfortunately. Or they believe in the internet before they believe in a person. That's just how it is. So if you have, so if you have a bunch of black business owners, whether it be a small business owner, big business owner, and they're willing to be a part of that community, when I come in as a person that's trying to learn, that's trying to grow, you're more willing to want to do it. Because you see,
did it.
Exactly. It's like, you know what, I want to do this, or I want to know more about what they did to make this happen, or I want to, you want to network.
Yeah.
And again, I say your network is your net worth. So you're starting to say, you know what, I joined this community called G.R.O.W. They got this, and this. I met this person. You feel value in it, And so that's my thing, is tapping into the black business owners out here in the community, judges, all the people that are already in their profession. That's why I call it, G.R.O.W professional originally. Tap into that and then make it available for their family, their friends, and that's how we kind of market. Word of mouth, grassroots. You don't have to really, of course social media will be there, but the thing is you got to submit your application.
No matter what you see, you're going to be outside the club looking at it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so you
then still got to submit the application.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not based on your dad is this or your this. It don't matter. What did you put in your application? Our community voted you in because we feel like you can play a valuable role. And then as we doing the events, it's also not just events I'm creating. If you have an event that you want to do and you're a part of G.R.O.W, you can do it with G.R.O.W. So now you might have 500. I'm just throwing a number of people coming to your event that you would have never had access to if you did it on your own. And not everybody's going to have a big network, but now you do because you're a part of a community that has that.
So, besides the application, what else would it take to be a part of this community?
For me, is I'll say a track record based on what we talk to you, because I will do an application, then I do an interview, just to have a connection. Just seeing where you at, what you're doing within your life, how you establish, what are you looking to establish. What are your values? What do you see yourself doing in the next 3 years? I want to see some type of plan, And if you don't have that, that's okay too. I'm gonna help you. And this really just being, you gotta be. Well, I think you gotta be black, but you do. It's for the black and brown.
Yeah.
It's for the black and brown. This is what that's about. And the key for all of this is based around fitness first, fitness and wellness. Even if you don't become you don't do much with any of the other things. You'll always, every month, get a 3D body scan, which will break down your body fat, your bone density, and help develop a fitness and nutrition plan for you to help grow in your fitness and wellness. You get that every month, no matter what, if you become a part of it. We bring you in, you get that every single month. And also, that helps you, mentally. You can do classes every Saturday. We have a free class for members to come out, do the workouts, learn that workout they need to know on their own if they don't want to have a trainer or anything like that. That's something that's automatic when you become a part of it, because that's what it's built around, is the fitness and wellness. And then from there, we have a brunch monthly. We have multiple events. Every week we'll have a different event. You don't have to be at every single one, but it's going to be something informational once a week. We'll have a brunch once a month. We'll have something with the Brooklyn Nets. I have something set up. We'll go up there. We'll do events, concerts. So it's a whole community. So now a lot of people, you said 26, great age. You get in that age frame. You're outside of your college world. You're outside of your normal friends. They're where they're at. You're trying to figure it out. Like, who do I want to be around? What do I want to do? How can I establish myself back in another community?
Not to cut you off, and then it does sound really appealing, because I think a lot of times people get focused on that professional side. But you're saying, like, you establishing a network, but I understand that you still want to, like you said earlier, you want to live your life, essentially. So you don't want to just be alive. And I think that both components is good, because then you see a lot of people like aimless, like they're on their day naps, they're on the Tinder is looking to establish community, but they're doing it so wrong. and then they're on LinkedIn posting, and then they're tapping into the college friends busy, you know, then they feel like a disconnect from everything. You know?
Well, you paying to play.
Yeah.
You paying just to be a part of something, but it's not really necessarily what you really truly, you know, that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
I look back, a lot of people I went to college with or grad school, they 10 years removed, it look like 20 years older.
That's crazy.
They're, you know, they gained a lot of weight. They got tapped into just the profession because that's what society.
That's
you got to, you know, where you're programmed from. From elementary, high school, it's work first, and if you're good enough and you do what you're supposed to, then you can do extracurricular activities. Everything is, if you do, you got to do this first, and then you do this, which you know and I know is health as well.
Work and play.
It's got to be that. But we program ourselves so when you get out of college, you're like, you know, I got to tap into this profession. I got to do 18 hours a day. I got to do this. I can't do nothing else. But that's not what it's about. That's not going to help you grow. And then 10 years have passed. You're like, oh, it's been 10 years since I started this job. Wow. You're looking at yourself unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Diabetes. You know, things going on. Your family members, just you don't even know what's going on with them. You're like, I didn't even know it. You start losing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what's supposed to be. But when you don't have a balance or you don't have a syllabus, see, you think about it from elementary all the way through college. You have a syllabus. You had a lifestyle. You had something. You're going to get up and go to school. You're going to do this. You're going to go to extra college. You got some homework. You got it. But when you're doing your own, they're telling you, remember, we taught you everything you're supposed to know to do it now. I mean, that'll make you disciplined enough to do it now. That'll make nobody over you. Now it comes down to how disciplined are you to continue to do those things. How disciplined are you to, because nobody can make you, right? But
now you're part of something, you feel like, and actually, you know, it's set up here.
It's anything. That's all I use. If I use anything, I use that's it. I don't put nothing.
Stevia, it's
from a tree.
I thought it's a taste though.
I like it though. I do it it's from a tree.
Yeah, I used to put it in my tea when I was younger. My mom was big into like health.
That's all I do.
She got a bunch of books.
I already know. Yeah. Philly, I know that's what it is.
My mom really big into like what you put in your body.
Absolutely, that's the key.
So when I was younger, she used to have me drinking apple cider vinegar shots.
I do that. I drink that every day.
And then so like as an athlete, and then like even like cooking or dinners, like not a lot of seasoned chicken. Like it wasn't over seasoned. I mean, it was seasoned, but it wasn't like
because the seasons are all negative. You know what I'm saying? That's what's causing the cancers and all the different things. Is your body can't digest all of that stuff.
So then, like getting to be like the vegetables and like the not seasoned right, you know, it was
all those things.
Like, bro, I was like even my brother now, raised like an athlete, like natural foods, like hey. No soda in the house. Yeah, the only soda we ever had in the house was ginger ale. It was my mom.
That's when you're sick, no. I don't.
No juice either.
Nah, that's horrible. That's all sugar. I don't drink none of that stuff. My daughter is a vegetarian. I've been told, I'll say about 6 months ago, her mom decided just to start giving her meat because I'm like, why? I don't know. But the point is, they think that's third-party protein. That's what I tell people. That's third party. The animal eats the protein. It's not the protein. And then you don't give it so much protein because their body only retains so much protein just like your body. The greens or the kale or all that they eat is the protein. So I tell people stop thinking that you're getting protein. What you're getting is a lot of steroids, a lot of pesticides, a lot of other things that come in the meat because they're giving it to them to help grow the meat and preserve it, and then a little bit of protein you get. You're not getting much protein because your body's not even processing it. You got to break down the meat first of all, and then your body takes about 3 to 5 days to do that. And then you're going to retain a little bit of protein. It's not really necessary. Now, can you eat as much protein as an animal can? No, because you have to eat bundles and bundles of kale.
Bigger.
But it's still going to be better for you. It's more about the fasting and how you allow your body to break down the foods. I eat every other day. So, my body will process foods better, because it's breaking it down. You got to give your body enough time to digest the food.
I talked to somebody once, it was my old barbers when I was in Philly, and he was telling me in order to like reset your body up-wise, like from like diseases or flus, or like you don't do anything but drink water for 7 days.
That's like called water fast.
Yeah, and it'll reset your body entirely.
It helps because the alkaline level and all those different things happen. But and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's really if people say I there's no such thing as you can't. Your body, you're programmed, and
mind.
you're addicted to the drug.
Sure.
The food is drug. That's the problem. And when you say you can't, and you feel like crazy, and that's all mental. It's because you're being addicted to these foods that's out here that are no good. And it's made you, like Chick-fil-A has 300 some different chemicals that are in there. Chemicals are, if you're addicted to a chemical, you're addicted to a drug. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's what you're addicted to.
We don't associate because we need food.
Exactly. It's food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's chicken. It's this, but is it chicken that is grown and fed a certain way? If you get a chance to look on this, even fish. There's a thing on Netflix called Fishology. Horrible.
Well, the way they treat fish.
Farm fish?
Farm fish is crazy.
Chlamydia. The fish is getting chlamydia.
I heard.
That's crazy, bro. And then we eat that.
Cause they be like 1,000 fish in a cage this big.
Yeah. And that's the same thing with the chickens.
Yeah,
that's exactly the same thing. And
you see like the farm or uncaged chicken, you see that on the egg card, but I've read like that's not totally accurate.
Exactly.
Like it's honest, but it's not honest.
It's more to it. I dated an environmentalist lawyer, matter of fact.
Really?
And she was talking to me about that stuff where they say organic or they say this. A lot of nonsense.
They say they do like the cage free and some farm. Yeah, it's like 3 different things that the card necessary is like, okay, that's true.
Whole Foods ain't all Whole Foods.
Yeah.
By far. Not even close, actually. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and that's the thing. If you don't know, how can you grow? That's why it's all about sharing this information and those different things I talked about.
That's what shows the world. For people to come, give the world what they need.
Exactly.
It's easy to listen sometimes.
And it got to start with us. There you go. You got to be able to listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's one big aspect that I will be doing with the G.R.O.W. is a podcast, and with that podcast, it's an open content where basically the brunch that we're doing, before we start the brunch, we actually do a platform for different people within the community that we'll invite on. And they'll be a part of the panel. Yep. And then before we eat the dinner or while we're eating dinner, as we're doing the show, they can tap in and say what they feel about what's going on, what we're talking about, what subject matter we're talking about. They can actually be a part of it, kind of like Donahue. It used to be a show back in the day called Donahue, where it was a white guy would bring people on, panelists on, and he would host a show, and the people in the audience could actually say, like Oprah, things like that. They could say their questions or say what they had to say. But I'm going to do that now, but do it as a brunch. So then we can talk about it, because a lot of times when you think about brunches, you just got 3 or 4, not brunches, when we talk about shows, 3 or 4 people just talking about what they feel. Mm-hmm. But you never really get to hear what the audience thinks and what they're feeling about it. You know what I'm saying?
So, you see that like, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, or even like Ben Shapiro, or like Candace Owens. They'll be at the lectures, and people come to the mic and talk to them.
Right.
But you actually don't, sometimes you don't see that with like other types of innovators and things like that, or people who come like you on fireman as a lawyer.
Exactly.
Or you got to do a bunch of research on an event, right? Like, okay, what can I go to? And then they think about adults who don't have time to be searching on an event, right?
Exactly.
Or searching for events, they need something that's like, here.
Right there. And then if you go to it as a brunch, it's like it's dope. You get to dress up.
Yeah.
I'm using fashion design.
People always outside.
I want to be out. Always be outside. Exactly. And I get to speak my mind. So I'm drinking a little alcohol. And I'm talking about. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big piece I'm gonna do. That's a monthly thing I'm doing every month. The brunch, interactive brunch is what I call it, and it's a show. We got 10-minute segments. I do it for an hour, and then we just go right to the brunch afterwards.
Yeah. So I do want to say to those who are watching, there will be a link. A link for you to sign up, attach to this. I'll direct you to.
It's gonna be very simple. GROWClub.us. GROWClub.us, just like it sounds, and then so you tap in, submit your application, and we go from there.
So if you want to grow, you know where to go to.
Exactly.
You know where to go to. I want to ask a softball question. So what is something that you read, watched, listened to, or viewed that made you stop and think recently?
Just talking earlier, I was watching one of the ministers, Muhammad, I think it's Minister Muhammad, I believe is his name. I don't want to say it. Yeah, but he was talking about, what was he talking about? Give me a second, I'll think about it. What was it again?
It was unity.
Yeah. Uniformity versus unity. And I was like, bro, that is key, because if you don't know the difference, how can you do different? You know, and so he talked about how, you know, different groups, like say fraternities or church ministries or different things like that, those are people in uniformity. You know, not everybody has to be a part of your group in order for you to work with them and still want to grow with them. And that's what GROW is all about. You know, it's not about uniformity, it's about unity. You know, I'm trying to grow with you, but you can be somebody different. You can do a different profession. You can be a part of a different fraternity, and we still want to grow with you. Yeah. I need what you're doing. I need you to be, you know, the profession and what you're doing. Be the
star.
A star. And I need you to be that. I like that you do that and bring that to our community. Yeah. So, you know, unity versus uniformity. I was like, that was huge. I love that, how you tap that and, you know, put that out there.
It's interesting because, you know, as black people sometimes, well, not always,
right,
but more than recently, you see I have to do everything myself. I have to be everything for myself.
Right.
And then if someone isn't serving me the way that I want them to, I can cut them off.
Right.
And
well, I know that, and I think I said it earlier. That's I think it has something to do with our mental breakdown, because of unfortunately a lot of us don't do right by us. You know, and you have business relationships and you develop and you give opportunity to people and they take advantage of it in the wrong way. So now we label each other as that. Dr. Umar was talking about something just recently, and he was talking about how can we grow as a community when we're the main community that deal with each other. We want to get as far away from each other as we can. So how can you grow as a community when you don't even want to be around the people in your community?
Outside looking, look at my people. They fool themselves.
Exactly.
But you separate.
Right.
You're the better one.
And the thing is, we, like he said, and this is fact, I can, based on my example as well, we want to get as far away from the people in our community as possible most of the time. I don't want to be around that. We don't even live in our own communities. And so if we don't want to live amongst each other and work amongst each other, what makes you think other people should give us opportunity? What makes you think that they should take advantage, a chance? If that's what you think on our community, that's the problem. So that's why they have the systems that keep us back, the systematic depression, oppression, and stuff like that. That's the reason for that. Because they see that all we have to do is X, Y, and Z, and they'll separate each other even more. And we don't think about that. They're using it against us, you know. So that's a big piece for why, again, we need to work with each other. We need to create a system that we feel comfortable, again, amongst each other. And if we can do it in a social club setting, and it's not based on how much,
it's no pressure.
Exactly.
You don't have to put anything into it, but be yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. We're going to grow because we're helping each other grow. And what we do. Versus, you know, if you invested this amount, it's not about that.
You ain't doing your part.
Exactly.
Like, you done actually, but now it's like, all right, you be yourself. Hey, you want to talk about money all day? I'm listening. Yeah, you want to talk about food all day? I'm definitely listening. You know?
Exactly.
So.
And I think that's a huge piece because, like you said, it takes the pressure off. You're here because you want to be. You're here because not because you have to be, because you want to be, and then we can help each other grow. But that's a big piece. Now, I noticed that and I'm included at times. You know, you have so many experiences with other black people and communities, and you know. I think we have to also, though, start to understand that not everything has to be something to gain financial wealth from it.
Yeah.
Everything you do with somebody, you can't lead with how much money am I going to make. It has to be led more with how can we build.
Yeah.
If you do it because you just want to do it, whether you spend, I'm going to tap into this real quick around this. If you give somebody actually to borrow some money.
All the time we have. I'm AP, and I'm thankful to sit down with Seneca today, and have a good day.
Yes, my name's Seneca Hart. I appreciate your time, bro. I appreciate you putting me on the platform. Together, we envision greater.
Yes, we do. Peace out, y'all.